On graduation day, I suddenly got an email from 10 years in the future. Every word in it cut deep. It flat out said that after I got married, my boyfriend and my best friend would both betray me. They'd been fooling around behind my back. They teamed up to screw me over. In the end, I'd be seriously ill. With only a month left to live. Watching the two of them act all lovey-dovey right in front of me, I suddenly saw things clearly. The love and friendship I once believed in with all my heart were all fake. My scalp went numb. I kept reading the emails. I had 3 miscarriages. All because of him and Shen Jae-yu. And I found out about all this on the day of their 10th graduation anniversary celebration. The last email had just 1 sentence. I stared at the screen, shaking all over. He said, "Please, don't marry him." The doctor said, "I only have a month left." Xiaoxi saw me frozen in place with my phone. He smiled and asked me, "What are you so into?" I snapped out of it instantly. "Nothing. Just an offer from another company." He chuckled. "It's all because my baby is too talented. They're too late. We already agreed to join the same company." So I smiled and said nothing. Shen Jae-yu wore a little white dress. She ran over with flowers. "Xia Ukshui. Let's go take graduation photos." She cheerfully linked her arm with mine. Then turned her head to look at Xiaoxi. "I'll grudgingly allow you to take photos for us. If you mess up, I'll hit you." She even raised her fist at him as she said it. Usually when I saw them at odds, I would always smooth things over. Maybe because of the email, I wanted to see what Xiaoxi would do. He lazily curled his lips, reached up and grabbed her wrist. His voice drawled, "Okay. Let me see how you're going to hit me." Shen Jae-yu's face instantly turned red. She shook off his hand. She said angrily, "Don't touch me with your hands. Xiaoxue, let's go. Take photos in the classroom." I went to the bathroom and came back. Just as I was about to push the door open. "Ah, yes. This 5-carat diamond ring you bought is so sparkly. I love it so much. Why didn't you get one for Xiaoxue too? We're best friends. It'd be perfect for a girls' night." Xiaoxi touched her head and said affectionately, "You dummy. You forgot I'm supposed to be a poor student in front of him. Besides, this one is custom made just for you, one of a kind." I looked at the plain ring on my finger. I was stunned for a moment, then finally let out a breath. I pushed the door open, and hearing the noise, Xiaoxi quickly pulled his hand off me. To celebrate graduation, we all had dinner together that night. I got another email. "Don't listen to what they say. Watch what they do." I don't really get that. Then my friends wanted to play Truth or Dare, and Xiaoxi drew a card. "Princess, carry the second person to your left and do squats." He's to my left, and my left is Shen Jae-yu. So the second person is him. Everyone around was staring at us curiously. Shen Jae-yu frowned. "What a stupid game. Letting you take advantage of me." "Xiaoxie, don't worry. I won't be nice to him." Xiaoxi chuckled and looked at me. "It's just a game. Don't mind it." He walked over and picked up Shen Jae-yu directly. Their bodies pressed tightly together in an awkward closeness. Shen Jae-yu's hands gripped Xiaoxi's neck firmly. After it was done, Xiaoxi said he was stifling, sweating from the heat, and needed to wash up. I saw his ears were bright red. Shen Jae-yu snapped, "I'm even more disgusted by you." "Xiaoxie, I'm going to wash my hands." Touched a dirty guy. With that, they left one after the other in sync. The email came again. You know what? When I flipped through his diary, I found out that night they never came back. They were right next door. I made an excuse to go to the bathroom, but my friends there stopped me, telling me to wait for them to get back first, since I'd be unsafe alone. I smiled and said, "Actually, I'm not feeling too well. I want to head back early. Just tell them for me, okay?" Hearing that, they sighed in relief. And when I passed by the room next door, I softened my footsteps. In the midst of the loud music, through a crack in the door, I saw the 2 familiar people pressed together inside. He pressed down on the back of her head and deepened the kiss hard. When I got outside, my mom sent me a message. A few days ago she was all excited about grabbing tickets. I never got any ticket confirmation, so I thought we were still waiting. She said she only managed to get tickets for herself and Ashi and Jae-yu. She didn't get one for me. She told me to sign up on the wait list. I stared at her message, and suddenly felt like I was the one who was extra. We'd been planning this graduation trip for a long time. Shen Jiu suggested bringing my mom along. She was really happy about it. She volunteered to handle the ticket booking. My parents got divorced early on. Jiu was my neighbor across the hall since we were kids. From middle school on, he basically lived at my place most of the time. The three of us were really close. Or at least I thought so. My phone vibrated again. Xiaoxi called me. Why didn't you wait for me? At least let me take you home. His voice was still so gentle. I think back to when he confessed to me, all red-faced, after the college entrance exam. He always had my back through all 4 years of college. When I was being followed, he took a hit for me. Even when he was flat broke, he never missed a single anniversary. He used to joke around with a grin, and say it was only natural to protect his girlfriend. Of course it is. In my junior year I introduced Shen Jiu to him. They couldn't stand each other from the first look. Xiaoxi freaked out, and said he wasn't letting anyone take away his baby's attention. No way. Shen Jiu just laughed in anger on the spot. He asked me where I found this love-struck idiot. Thinking back, I was so naive back then. The next day, I was carrying the rest of my dorm stuff, and ran into Shen Jiu coming downstairs. He said angrily, "Yesterday Xiaoxi just dropped him off at the school gate and took off." I didn't say anything. Downstairs, Xiaoxi was waiting in the car. Shen Jiu just opened the back door and slid in, saying he needed to catch up on sleep. Somebody passing by said, "You know what? When I came back yesterday, I went through the bushes near the dorms. I heard someone getting beaten up in there. It was so loud I could even hear it." Xiaoxi was helping me load my luggage in the trunk. I clearly saw his hand freeze for a second. While sitting in the passenger seat, I pretended to touch up my makeup. But in the mirror, I saw Xiaoxi wiping at drops of water on the ground with a tissue. His eyes, locking with Shen Jiu's in the back seat every now and then. He was making faces at Xiaoxi. A clear smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. Back home, we've always kept a room for Shen Jiu. Right before bed, my mom brought me a glass of milk. Her eyes lingered on me 2 seconds longer than usual. "You've been exhausted these past few days. Drink up and get some sleep early." I smiled and took it. "Okay. I'll drink it right away." I turned and went to my room. As I remembered the email, my hand paused. I poured every last drop of milk onto the succulent on the windowsill. Then I checked for any signs of tampering. My mom raised me all by herself. It wasn't easy. She never said no to anything I asked for. But with everything happening these past 2 days, and that email, I couldn't help but overthink. I lay in bed, pretending to be asleep. I don't know how long passed. The door was gently pushed open. Footsteps stopped by my bed. Someone stood there for a moment, then closed the door and left. Then muffled voices came from the living room. I crept over to the door on tiptoe, pressing my ear against it. It was Shen Jiu's voice. "Is he asleep yet?" He drank it. "He's out cold." I made sure to put sleeping pills in it. My mom's voice was very calm. "Keep your voices down. Don't wake him up." Hearing that, my heart tightened. Xiao's voice came through, with a hint of hesitation. "Do we really have to hurt him? It's not like we have to do it this way. Didn't you say we'd celebrate tomorrow afternoon by going out? You said you wanted to make it up to me." Shen Jiu lowered his voice, sounding hurt. But, Shen Jiu cut him off. "Think about it. If he doesn't get hurt, we get our marriage certificate. And we won't even get a honeymoon? Alright, whatever you say." Xiao was silent for a moment, then spoke slowly. Shen Jiu's voice softened. "Tomorrow, Xiaoxi and I are going to the old bookstore. Is that place safe? Don't cause any trouble." "It's too big, that's not good," Xiao asked. My mom's voice came up again. "Then tomorrow I'll act like I don't know anything. You guys be careful." I leaned against the door. My nails dug deep into my palms. My mom who fought dad over custody rights. We've been together all these years. And now she's plotting for them. How could you let me get hurt like that? I took a deep breath, and quietly went back to bed. I closed my eyes. The next day I purposely slept in. When I came out of my room at noon, he was already sitting in the living room. Xiaoxi and Shen Jiu were sitting side by side on the couch. My mom was busy in the kitchen. They looked really refreshed. Maybe because they got the marriage certificate. Everything just feels different now. When Shen Jieyu saw me come out, she walked up with a smile. Xiao She, come with me to the old bookstore. I want to buy a rare art book. Sure. I smiled too. Xiao Shi offered to drive us there. He parked the car in front of the bookstore and waited inside the car. The old bookstore had a wooden staircase on the second floor. Shen Jieyu said she wanted to go up and look for a book. I followed behind her. After climbing a few steps, she suddenly yelled, "Ah!" and fell straight backward. Her arms flailed wildly toward me. I was ready for it. I held tight to the railing with both hands. Pressing myself against one side of the wooden stairs, I managed to steady myself. When Shen Jieyu tried to catch herself, she hit the ground and cried out in pain. Xiao Shi heard the noise and rushed in. His eyes immediately went to the person on the floor, then looked up at me. His voice was filled with suppressed anger. Why didn't you catch him? You just let him fall like that? Standing on the stairs, I looked down at him. My voice was cold. Xiao Shi, whose boyfriend are you, exactly? You walked in and didn't even ask what happened. You just jumped to pin the blame on me. If I didn't know better, I'd think you're his boyfriend instead. He froze. A flicker of guilt flashed in his eyes. Shen Jieyu spoke up weakly at that moment. It hurts. Xiao Shi. My leg hurts so much. Xiao Shi immediately crouched down, carefully picked him up and carried him out, without looking at me again the whole time. At the hospital, Xiao Shi was running around busily. I registered and paid the fees, helping Shen Jieyu take an X-ray. More caring than I am his best friend. He even forgot to pretend in front of me. I leaned against the door of the ward, arms crossed, staring right at him. He felt my gaze, finally realizing something. He walked over and said awkwardly, "After all, she's your friend. He got hurt. You must feel bad. You care about him, and I care about you even more." I almost laughed. Turns out his acting is that good. But today he overdid it. I walked out of the ward and dialed a number. On the other end, my dad's surprised voice came through. "Xiaoshui, you finally called your dad." I said, "Dad, is what you said about taking over the family business still a thing?" Of course, anytime. Set it up for me. The sooner the better." Shen Jieyu's injury wasn't serious, but the doctor said he needed 2 weeks of rest. So their graduation trip was obviously off. My mom took it upon herself to look after him, and said on the phone to me, in a very natural tone, "You're about to start your internship. Just focus on work. No need to come over. I've got Jieyu covered here." I just grunted in response, not saying much. It wasn't the time to blow things up yet. One night, I still went to the hospital. I wanted to see with my own eyes how he was doing. The ward door wasn't completely closed. I peeked through the crack. Shashi was sitting by the bed, peeling an apple for Shen Jieyu. His moves were smooth. He didn't even glance in my direction. And just a second ago he texted me saying he was working late. I suddenly heard footsteps behind me, so I slipped into the empty ward next door, peeking through the gap. It was my mom, carrying a thermos, walking straight into Shen Jiyu's ward, and shutting the door behind her. I pressed against the wall, hearing my mom's voice from inside, her voice lowered to a whisper. But the soundproofing in the hospital room wasn't great. I heard everything clearly. "You two need to be careful. What if Xiao Shui comes by and catches us? You guys are something else. If you want to be together, just tell Xiao Shi. Why do you have to hide it? What happens when Jieyu's belly gets big later?" My hand gripped the doorframe tight. Shen Jieyu said in a soft, sweet voice, "Ah, you feel bad for me, don't you?" His family is all about matching social status. He also wants Xiao Shui to make some achievements at the company. Wait until she's about to get her full-time position, then get her pregnant. She'll step down and go home to rest then. Give all her accomplishments to me. That way his mom will accept me better. Xiao's voice joined in, with a tone that felt entitled. "I feel bad for Xiao She too. She's been with me for 5 years. I really do love her. It's kind of unfair to her." He paused for a moment as he spoke. "But ancient men all had multiple wives. Xiao Shui can't tolerate any cheating. Unlike Jieyu, she's willing to accept Xiao Shui being around." I stood by the wall in the next hospital room for a long time. "So that's how it is. I worked a temp job during summer break before. That was Xiao's recommendation. I made a bunch of proposals there. The director really liked my work. So I didn't hesitate to pick that place for my internship. Thinking back now, those proposals were probably already stamped with someone else's name. The next day I went to the company to quit. Right after I submitted my resignation, Xiao's phone call came in. His voice was tinged with suppressed anger. "Why did you quit without telling me first?" "Someone's offering a high salary to poach me for another company." I said it very calmly. He blurted out, "Xiao family can handle that too." I paused for a second. "Xiao family?" He realized he let it slip. He quickly tried to cover up. "I mean, our company's boss Xiao has always been big on talent. The director was very satisfied with the proposals you made before. We can discuss your pay again. I'll think about it." I said that, and hung up. A few days later, the day Shen Jieyu got discharged from the hospital, Xiao drove to pick him up. They got into a car accident on the way back. "He's fine. But the car needs to go to the shop." Xiao called me. His voice was totally casual. "Shui, can you take the car to the shop for me? I'm stuck here." I was about to say yes. My phone buzzed. It was a new email. Just one line. "Today he'll make you donate blood to Shen Jieyu. This is just the start. After that, Shen Jieyu will always have some excuse for feeling sick. My first child was lost because I donated blood to him." I just stared at the screen. Xiao was still pushing me on the phone. "Shui, you hear me?" "Yeah, I heard. Where'd you leave the car?" "The shop asked me to pick it up." And gave me the dashcam video. "Miss Liu, here's the accident footage. Need our help with it?" I clicked it. In the video Shenjiu leaned over, reached out and hooked his arm around Xiao's neck, pressed his lips to Xiao's. His voice came through the video. All soft and syrupy. "Just a little kiss?" Xiao's hand slipped. The wheel jerked hard. Then a violent crash and screams. So that's what they call a car accident. The next day, Shenjiu called. "Shui, come to the hospital." His voice was weak. "The doctor says I need an emergency blood transfusion. We have the same blood type." When I got to the hospital, Shen Jieyu was lying in bed, face all rosy. My mom was standing there and frowned the second she saw me. "What took you so long?" Xiao was sitting at the foot of the bed. Shen Jieyu looked down. "Shui, I know I'm bothering you, but I really don't feel well. Probably after effects from the accident." I looked him in the eye. "You sure?" He froze. His eyes instantly got red. My mom lost it. "Lu Xiao, what's your deal? Can't even donate blood. Jieyu grew up with you. Do you even have a conscience?" Xiao's tone was gentle. "Xiao Shui, it's just a little blood draw, nothing bad will happen." I watched them turn and walk away. My mom's voice chased after us. "Lu Shui, stop right there." I didn't look back. Xiao's calls just kept coming. I didn't pick up. Messages popped up. "Xiao Shui, what's wrong? First finish the blood type match, it's not working." I just turned off the phone. When I got home I opened my suitcase. Picked out the important stuff. Shove it in. Grabbed 2 changes of clothes. The suitcase is still over half empty. Dad, who's overseas, sent a message. "All the paperwork's done. We can leave any time." These days, Shen Jieyu was still in the hospital. My mom brought food every day. Then my mom came home to grab something. Pushed open my door. I wasn't there. Nothing was missing. Called several times. But it was turned off. Then called Xiao. Xiao Shui seems to be throwing a tantrum. No idea where she went. Didn't take anything. Did he find out something? Xiao was at the hospital with Shen Jieyu when he got the call. He stood up abruptly. The chair tipped over. Shen Jieyu tugged at his sleeve. Her voice was soft. Don't worry. Shui is probably just in a mood. She'll be back in a couple of days." He looked down at her. Shen Jieyu tilted her face up. Her eyes were bright. Her lips pouted a little. He's always loved that look of dependence on him. "Yeah, true. She's got nowhere to go. She'll come back eventually." He slowly sat back down. A few days later, they went home. Everything in the house was the same. Slippers and clothes were still there. Even the toothbrush on the sink was still in the cup. My mom stood at Lu Shei's door. Wanted to say something, but couldn't reach her. Xiao called all day. No one knew where Lu Xue went. Someone called him. How can you not even know where your own girlfriend is? Didn't you just propose? Ah, yeah. She really left. Mom, it's all my fault. When Xiao Shui comes back, I'll apologize to her properly. Shen Jieyu hugged him from behind. Her face pressed against his back. He sighed, pulled her into his arms. If only Xiao Shui could be this sensible too. Right then, one of Xiao's close buddies called him. I heard you're looking for Lu Shui. A few days ago when I was chasing after my first love, I even ran into her at the airport. Now I just got back to the country and found out you're looking for him. Hearing this, Xiao Shi freaked out. He didn't know a thing about it. Only after I got to France did I realize why my mom always took Shenjiu's side. Over the years I could kind of tell she favored him, but I never really thought much of it. I thought my mom loved me, and she loved my friends too. Since Jieyu and I were best sisters, she loved her too, just like family. She treated Jieyu as good as her own daughter. I even felt lucky about it. When my dad told me the truth, I was in his office trying to get over my jet lag. He spoke calmly, like he was telling a story about someone irrelevant. Back then, my mom's first love came back. That guy was Shen Jieyu's father. During that time, my mom kept running over there, and my dad knew this family was done. He fought hard for custody of me, but my mom never let go. Until one day, he saw me clinging to my mom, refusing to let her go. Then he backed off. He said he knew I couldn't bear to leave my mom. All these years, I never really knew the real reason my parents got divorced. I never asked them about it. I just sometimes blamed my dad in the middle of the night. I blamed him for breaking up this family. Turns out it was never him who broke it up. Turns out my mom's favoritism was never because she loved me. Turns out I was just an excuse for him to get close to his first love's daughter. I was silent for a long time. Then I sent an email to my future self. I asked him if the future had changed. He replied with his last email, "Beyond the ice and snow lies the spring mountain." I don't know if this was comfort or a prophecy, but I decided to take it as my answer. So I started working my ass off. During the day, I took classes at school. And at night, I followed up on the projects my dad gave me. My dad came here on his own to make a living. He founded the company. He said he planned to hand it over to me. I didn't say no. Half a month after coming to France, I got back to my apartment and found Shen Jieyu blocking my door. She looked a bit worn out, but her eyes were still bright, with that innocent, pitiful look I knew all too well. When she saw me, she smiled a little. "You already know, right?" I curled my lips. My voice was calm. "Know what? That my boyfriend hooked up with my best friend? Or that he's already married?" As I spoke, I glanced at his slightly swollen belly. 3 months along? He froze. His lips moved, but didn't say a word for a while. "When did you find out?" he finally asked. "If you don't want people to know, don't do it." I leaned against the doorframe, looking into his eyes. "Don't I have the right to know? Or, are you pissed that you schemed for all those work achievements at the company but they haven't been credited to you yet? And that feels like a waste?" He was completely stunned. His pupils shook slightly, like someone had dumped a bucket of cold water on him. He didn't expect I knew that much. Right then, Xiao rushed over. He obviously heard what I said just now too. Standing behind Shen Jieyu, he pressed his lips together, wanting to explain something. I didn't give him the chance. I just opened the door and went in, then slammed it shut with a bang, shutting both of them out. After Xiao saw me go in, he knew I didn't want to see him, so he left. Shen Jieyu started knocking on the door, his tone annoyed. "Xiao Shui, open the door. You know what I hate most about you? It's that stuck-up attitude of yours. Why should you get everything?" His voice came through the door, mixed with suppressed sobs and anger. "You probably don't know this, but Xiao and I slept together the day you introduced us. The next day I felt sick, and you were the one running around taking care of me. Lu Xue, do you realize how pathetic you are?" I didn't respond. I went back to my desk, opened the project files and kept analyzing and organizing. It was quiet outside the door for a long time. Footsteps slowly faded away. That evening, there was a knock at the door. I looked through the peephole and saw it was Xiao. He was standing at the door, his hands in his pockets, head down, like he was trying to find the words. A few seconds later, he looked up and said something to the door. His voice wasn't loud, but it was clear. Xiao She, I need an explanation. I didn't open the door. Through the door. Xiao Shi's voice was low. Xiao Shui, I'm not asking you to open the door. But can you just listen to me for a bit? I stayed quiet. On graduation dinner night, after you left, Jae-yu said he wanted to see you off. Then he came back, said he didn't catch up to you, and he'd had too much to drink. I went out with him to get some air. And then, I don't even know how, the next few times, I'll admit I didn't really say no. But that's only because you were always ignoring me. I never meant to hurt you. He finished. I opened the door and looked at him. In just a few days, he looked a lot more worn out, with a cautious look in his eyes. I said coldly, Xiao Shi, Shen Jiyu told me himself. You guys hooked up the day I introduced you. That wasn't graduation dinner night, it was junior year. That's exactly 1 year ago. His face turned pale instantly. You're gonna blame every time that whole year on being drunk? Xiao Shui, I cut him off. I was really busy back then. And I neglected you. I'm done being a slave for your Xiao family. Those plans, it wasn't something I stayed up all night doing. Who ended up getting those grades? Don't you know in your own heart? He kept his head down. I reached out and handed him that plain ring. Too tacky. I don't like it. But Shen Jieyu's 5-carat diamond ring was pretty nice though. He snapped his head up. I could clearly see the shock in his eyes. I looked at him. I also know you two already got the marriage certificate. It was the morning you guys set me up and I broke my leg. His lips started trembling. I got the certificate because she got pregnant. She cried every day, made a scene every day. I just couldn't handle it anymore. Don't tell me you're gonna say her family pressured you. I let out a little laugh. Oh right. She has family. Her parents passed away long ago. And all her relatives keep their distance. So what did she use to pressure you? He froze. Was it your guilt? Or your shady affair that can't see the light of day? His mouth hung open. That diamond ring was something she insisted on too. Xiao Shi. What did she use to pressure you into buying a custom 5-carat diamond ring? Xiao Shi. I can explain. His voice was a bit panicked. Go ahead, explain. I leaned against the doorframe, looking at him with a faint mocking smile. He froze up again. After a few seconds, he finally squeezed out a sentence. The person in my heart has always been you. Me and her were just. I instantly dropped my smile and said coldly, what's the last name of Shen Jieyu's kid, Xiao? His expression was complicated. Xiao Shi. You've said so much. I looked at him. Have you noticed? You haven't said a single, I was wrong. He stood there frozen. Every word you said was blaming me. Blame me for being busy. Blame me for neglecting you. Blame me for introducing you to Shen Jiyu. You cheated because I was too busy. You got the certificate because she got pregnant. You bought her the ring because she insisted. Xiao Shi. You've never done a single thing wrong. Right? His mouth was open. His throat was moving up and down. I waited for 5 seconds. Then I stepped back inside the door. Just his eyes. Xiao Shi. You don't have the right to ask me for an explanation. You can't even explain why you cheated. You make me sick. I didn't think they'd show up. Even my mom could guess I might be at my dad's place. He'd been stopping me all along. Not letting me see my dad. Later I found out that after Xiao Shi went back that night, Shen Jiyu started a fight. Her pregnancy sickness was severe. She was throwing up non-stop. And she fought hard with him, saying he only had eyes for me, not for her or the baby. Xiao Shi had no choice. He took her back to the country that very night. I only heard all this from other people later. I didn't go out of my way to ask. Just caught bits and pieces from someone now and then. Around that time I met Shen Qiao. He was an upperclassman at our school. 2 years ahead of me. Already had a bit of a name in the circle. We first met at a school conference. He was giving a talk. I was sitting in the audience listening. His thinking was really clear. He spoke calmly and slowly. There was a kind of calming power to him. We gradually got closer after that. He'd give me advice on schoolwork. Which classes were worth taking. Which advisor fit my research direction better. He'd also help me network for work. Introduce projects. connect me with investors. I made a good amount of money following him. He had great boundaries, never crossed the line, and never made you feel like you owed him. We had a great time together. That kind of fun was different from before with Xiaoxi. When I was with Xiaoxi, I was always taking care of his feelings and his pride, maintaining his whole poor student image. But with Shenqiao, I didn't need to think about any of that. I was just me. He was just him. Neither of us owed the other anything. One day my dad called me. He beat around the bush for a while. He finally came out and said it. He wanted me to consider a marriage alliance. That guy Shenqiao, I had someone look into him. Family background and abilities, he's great at everything. If you don't have any objections, your father will go ahead and… I have a sword. I cut him off. My father froze for a second. A little confused. Dad, a marriage alliance is between two families. I don't want to be under anyone's control. I want the power in my hands. There was silence on the phone for a few seconds, and then my father laughed. He laughed heartily. Okay. That's my girl. He never brought up the marriage alliance again, and Shenqiao and I kept up that distant, not too close relationship. Neither of us broke the ice. For a whole year, Xiaoxi seemed to have vanished from my life. Just like that. I didn't look for him, and he never showed up. I thought the story was over. Until that afternoon, I finished class and went back to my apartment, and saw someone standing at the door. He looked more haggard than a year ago, and a lot skinnier. His custom suit didn't even fit him properly anymore. The moment Xiaoxi saw me, his eyes got red. Xiaoxie. His voice was hoarse, almost unrecognizable. I didn't say anything. I just stood there looking at him. I was wrong. His voice was shaking. I was so wrong. I regret it. Xiaoxue. I've regretted it every single day this year. I leaned against the doorframe, not planning to open the door. He stood there, like an abandoned dog, with all his pain and regret written all over his face. This whole year I wanted to come find you so many times, but Shen Jieyu was pregnant. She's always all over the place. She took all my ID and stuff. I tried to report it as a missing person, but when she found out, she started crying and throwing a fit. She spends money like crazy. At work, she's just average. My parents aren't happy with her, but there's nothing I can do. She got pregnant. I can't just walk away. He spoke in fits and starts, like he'd been holding all this in and finally found a way to let it out. I listened. My face showed nothing. Now the baby's here. He looked at me. His eyes had this begging look in them. It's a girl. I can finally come to you. Xiaoxie, can you forgive me? The hallway was dead quiet. I stared at him for a long time. Then I spoke. Are you done? He froze. My voice was calm. You talked so much, and all you did was tell me how miserable your life was this past year. Xiaoxi, you're still blaming everyone else. What about your own part in this? Why can't you ever look at yourself? His face changed. He muttered under his breath. You forgave Shen Jieyu, so why can't you forgive me? I looked at him. I suddenly felt like laughing. When did I ever say I forgave him? In the days that followed, Xiaoxi would always secretly follow me. He saw how confident I was in class, how sharp I was at the negotiating table. When I walked across campus with Shen Qiao, I had this relaxed, glowing smile he'd never seen before. One day, he sat on a bench across the street, and suddenly remembered the dream he had on the plane. In the dream, Lu Shui married him right after graduation. He handled the daily grind at home. He worked hard outside. Shen Jieyu lived next door. Afraid that Lu Shu's kid would steal her own child's spotlight, she schemed again and again. One kid after another didn't make it. He turned a blind eye. At least Lu Shui was still around. Then Lu Shui got sick. Only 1 month left. That night, he pulled out the IV tube and jumped out the window. By the time he got there, she was already gone. Soon after, the company went under. Shen Jieyu took all the money and fled abroad. He was left with the kid and a mountain of debt. The dream was over. The plane hit some turbulence. He was drenched in cold sweat. Right at that moment, the dim figure by the stove in his dream, and the Lu Shui before him covered in dust, blurred into one. His eyes welled up. He stood up and turned away. He finally understood that he wasn't good enough for her. After coming back to the country, the first thing Xiao did was ask Shen Jieyu for a divorce. Shen Jieyu threw a fit, crying and yelling, threatening him with the kid, threatening him with the company. But this time, Xiao didn't back down. After the divorce, Shen Jieyu reported the company. A few accounts had problems. The tax bureau showed up. The company went downhill. And Shen Jieyu got sent by Xiao to the worst mental hospital in town. As for my mom, she went crazy looking for me those years. Couldn't reach me by phone, so she asked people around. She'd asked Shen Jieyu to help find me before, but Shen Jieyu snapped at her saying, "You're the one who drove her away yourself. Now why are you playing the loving mother?" My mom said it was to help him out, but Shen Jieyu just shrugged and said, "I never asked you to. You offered yourself." He finally regretted it. But it was too late. We went back to visit him again. Later we heard he got Alzheimer's. He couldn't remember anything anymore. I had someone put him in a nursing home. I paid the fees yearly. But I never went to see him. Between him and me, never seeing each other was the best arrangement. Then later, the nursing home staff told me he'd forgotten a lot of things. Forgot his own name, where his home was. Only one sentence. He kept repeating every day. He'd grab anyone passing by. His eyes confused but stubborn. "Do you know where my elementary school is?" He never got to see me again before he died. On his deathbed everything came back to him. When the tears fell, he closed his eyes in regret. Coming out of that hospital room, it ended up being the last time he saw his daughter. If only he'd shown her a little more care back then, it wouldn't have come to this. Later, at a business dinner, Xiao heard a client slap the table and say, "You know why my business is so good? Because I love my wife. A man who cherishes his wife, his life takes off. My wife stayed with me from the day I was hauling bricks at a construction site." The whole table burst out laughing. Xiao sat in the corner, holding his glass. He hadn't moved for a long time. He took a big gulp of alcohol. It stung his eyes red. 5 years later, Lu Shui had grown her father's company. The business shifted to domestic markets. Countless companies lined up wanting to work with him. At an international summit, he stood on stage giving a talk. Hundreds of people in the audience. Xiaoxi sat in the corner of the last row. His body had already deteriorated. The doctor said it was from years of drinking. He looked up at that shining figure on stage. Remembering in college he had asked, "We'll be happy, right?" He didn't answer. Instead, under the table, where Lucy couldn't see, he held hands with Shen Jiu. When it ended, he saw Shen Qiao waiting for Lu She at the side door. Naturally taking the bag from his hand, they walked out side by side. "Shen Qiao, the jewelry you give me is all too flashy. Can you keep it low-key? Maybe the gift and the giver, for someone you like, can never be low-key." All these years, he had always stood by his side. Not far, not close. Never crossing the line, but never leaving. Xiaoxi lowered his head, swallowing the bitterness in his heart, quickened his pace, and disappeared into the crowd. How could he not love Lu She? Otherwise, he wouldn't have secretly crushed on him for all 3 years of high school, only confessing after the college entrance exam. But the love was real. And the thrill with Shen Jieyu was also real. What happened after that? No one really knows. Just occasionally someone brings up Lu Shui, and says he lived a beautiful life. Made it out on his own. Crossing the barren snow, he became a landscape himself. The end.